Peace and blessings, ladies and gentlemen. Yours truly, Jimmie Williams, again, back with another awesome and informative video. And I know you guys are probably really ticked off with me because I disappeared. You didn't know why I left, but I'm here to tell you I'm back. And I have a video that talks about why I left and why I was away for so long. But you are my audience. You are, my partners, my subscribers. And I call you a friend if you subscribe and you watch the content, even if you might disagree with what's on here sometimes. And I respect you in your respected places, and I honor you because without you, I wouldn't have a channel. I wouldn't have an audience to even talk to. But I'm talking to the Bytnex audience for a moment because I've been really silent about them for the last month or so. And you want to know why, okay? Again, the video that I did before explains it, but let's just talk about it for a minute. Let me put my glasses back on and look at you guys. I told you before, and I'm going to say it again. If there's any company that has stood the test of time and is going to always be here, it's Bytnex. Last year was Cryptex, up to about 9 years. And then the 10th year, last year, coming into this year, they changed the name to Bytnex. And the reason, or some people say Bytnex, but the reason the name was changed was because of all the scrutiny and all the other fakers and other companies that were having names similar to Cryptex and all of the heat that came. So they wanted to disassociate themselves with the scammers and the liars and all those people that did not keep their word, to not tarnish their name. That's why they became Bytnex, all right, or Bytnex. But I can assure you, I'm gonna take my glasses off one more time for this. I can assure you, there's nothing fake, there's nothing phony about Bytnex. They're one of the best, bar none, companies I've ever seen. And we're gonna talk about the pros and the cons in just a moment because I think you guys need to hear that a little bit because I talked about it almost a year ago. I did a video on the pros and cons of Bytnex. If you haven't seen it, go Google that or put it on YouTube. Jimmie Williams, pros and cons of Cryptex, and you'll see it come up. But let's get into this now. Let's just talk about the cons for a minute, right? Because most of you want to hear the negatives first, right? Number one negative that I think that they can improve on, which is not a deal changer, not a game changer for me because, Arlene and I are set to be very, very, very wealthy when the contracts start paying. But the number one thing, and it's a problem going on right now, is the website's stability. They are having issues, number one, keeping the website up, keeping it current. And some of the malfunctions in the back office are really disturbing. Sometimes, depending on what country you're in, you may not be able to go in and purchase a contract. If you're, for instance, I have some people that's in South Africa and in Nigeria. They're trying to go in there in the back office and buy a $100 contract, and they can't. They have to contact me, their upline, and say, "Hey, Jimmie, can you and Queen Arlene, can you guys go in there? We got the money in there, but can you go in there and please buy our contract for us?" So that's something to do with the quality of the site. And for the last 6 months almost, the accounts back there, depending on what you're looking at or when you got in, a lot of those accounts are showing negative. Even my account's showing like $300,000 in the negative, which I know it's not negative. It's just something going on with certain contracts that are showing negativity. Mostly the older contracts, the 5-year and the 7 years, they're showing, negative balances of $10,000 or $15,000, depending on when you got in. And at the top, you'll see negative, negative 1 million or something like that. And then you'll see, if you look at your daily income, sometimes it'll show, my income is normally $3,000 to $4,000 per day, right? But sometimes it's showing that I made $1 million in a day. We know that's not true. And then we see the weekly or the monthly income is the same as the daily income. And then sometimes it's showing $1 million in the negative in the daily income. So it's got tons of malfunctions, guys. That's number one. Tons of malfunctions with the website. On top of that, they're having trouble keeping the website updated and keeping it live online. That's scaring the heck out of a lot of people. Take a deep breath, inhale, exhale, and understand they're not going anywhere. But that's a major problem they need to fix. That's the number one con that I think could be better. Better website functioning. They were supposed to do 2.0 Cryptex or Bytnex 2.0, where you can click on the contract and it takes you right to the blockchain. You can see it live on the blockchain. They haven't done that yet either. I don't want to speculate, but my number one, what I think could be going on is because, the transition, and there's still a lot of people still joining the company or still joining the platform. I don't want to say company, this opportunity, and they're probably understaffed. So that could be the reason. So that's my number one. Number two, And there's another big one here. How do I say this? I'm very careful with how I say things because I want you guys to take it and run with it. Their customer service, as far as helping us with issues, if you email them, the customer service is not good at all. It needs major work. I mean, I've had people. I'm telling you the truth here. About 6 months ago, I had a super leader from overseas. He was in England. He has a team of maybe 5,000 people in his business, in his organization. He has like maybe over 100 contracts, right? I have 100 contracts. This person has over 100. 5,000 people in their downline, and they've been locked out of their account for nearly 2 years. He said, Jimmie, can you do anything? I said, no, all I can do is I can contact my upline, my super leaders, and have them send an email. And I did that. Nothing has happened. Well, your upline super leader, they can only send a message. They're not the company. And you'll hear this whenever you do any calls with us. I haven't been on a BitNex call in a minute because I'm building other businesses and doing other things. But the super leader over there, he's fantastic. I'm not going to say his name for privacy reasons, but he's an awesome guy. But he always says this: we do not do customer service here. We're showing the presentation how to make the money. You need to contact BitNex over here. And the problem is, whenever you go to them over there with BitNex, if you're not a super leader, particularly, you may not get a response for several weeks. Even if you are a super leader, you may not get a response. Because, again, I think they're understaffed and they're just not, the infrastructure with customer service is just not there. Again, this super leader, he has a huge team and he can't even see his back office. He doesn't know the actual due date on his contracts expiring. I've had several, and I mean several, people that said to me, I sent $500 through BitNex, through BTC. It didn't hit my account. I know I sent it to the right address, the right wallet, but I contact BitNex and they don't contact me back. Or one person says, I got locked out of my account. I can't reset my password. They gave me the email address. I still can't get through. All these things are happening to folks. I mean, every scenario you can think of, me being a YouTuber, they send it to my email. I hear it. And I apologize to you guys because I'm not able to respond because I'm so busy doing other things. I can't answer 100 or sometimes I get 200 emails in a day when it comes to emailing, texts, calls, messages on social media. And I can't handle all that stuff, guys. I just can't because I'm growing really, really fast. And it's not that I don't respect you. I don't love you guys. I do. You are the light that keeps my business shining, to keep everything going. Subscribers, people that listen to the content. So you're important to me. But I'm a one-man show right now until I got a team, but we're not big as we need to be. So we can't get back to you as fast. But you can imagine me being one person. Imagine if the infrastructure is not right with BitNex. They got thousands of people paying. And here's the thing, they're paying out millions of dollars per day on the blockchain. I'm going to get to the good stuff in a minute. But for all the people that are getting paid out, there's just as many not having their questions answered. Some of you guys, you want to get some answers from them, basic, simple answers, and you never hear back from them. That is a big caveat. It's a big issue. That's the number 2, I think, con that I think they could work on. How are they going to address it in the future? I don't know. All I know is here in the US, there's a big payout rush coming in July. I'm going to talk about that in a moment too. And thousands upon thousands of people, including the upline super leaders, they're going to start getting paid from those 3-year contracts. And some of them, it's just thousands of them that are going to get paid. And I'm trying to figure out how is BitNex going to deal with the rush? I don't know, but it's coming. All right. Number 3. I want you to think about this for a second. All right. Number 3, which I think most of us have experienced, it is how. It's not why. How can we expect to get our payouts the way we should if there's a lot of hacking going on? So number 3 would be the hacking. And I'm saying that because there's going to be a lot of money transferred to our accounts, some of us who haven't got it yet. Like Queen Arlene and I, we got about $50 million coming our way. When you count our contracts plus the downline, because we get, you get 8% on your first line, and then you get all the way down to like 15, 16 lines deep, you get commissioned, right? We're talking about $50 million. But when that money hits our account, you have the greatest when I say the greatest, I mean, you got some of the most sophisticated, well-educated, smart spammers and hackers that can come in there and take the money out. I can't tell you how many emails I've gotten, listen to me guys, where the person said, you know what, I had $200 in there and somebody came in there and moved that money from my account to another Bytnex account, another Bytnex wallet without their permission. What? And I didn't believe it until it happened to me. Yes, and it wasn't a lot of money, but the person took maybe $50 on my account twice. I saw the commission come in because you know how it works. Whenever you sign someone up, they buy a contract, you make $30. So if they buy a $100 contract, you make 30, right? Well, I had somebody that got like a 15 pack and I got paid for 10 contracts, which is $30 each, which is $300. And I just noticed $100 missing. I looked at the internal transfer. That's how you can see it. You can see somebody went in there and they actually took out $100. They moved 50 to another account twice. And there was nothing I can do about it. So the other problem is, so when you contact them, Bytnex, they don't get back to you. So that's one thing, that they can't get back to you, but the mere fact that you can't do anything about it when they take the money out is a big problem. So let's say you get paid, that $1 million contract expires in 2032, somewhere in there, right? That $1 million hits your account. What if that hacker comes and moves that money to his account, his or her account? Who's gonna stop that? Do they have a system in place to be able to say, you know, we really, really need to help get Jimmie his money back? Or are they going to pay me that money no matter what? It's okay at $50 or $100, that's no big deal. But in some countries, $50 or $100 is a big deal, bigger than the US. Like South Africa, they're saying $500 over there doesn't mean the same. It's much more valuable than it is here in the States. Okay? So any amount of money is important to them. But I'm saying when you get up into thousands and the millions, what's going to happen? Right? So you have the hackers. That's number 3. That's the number 3, I would say, con. All right. There's other cons that I don't want to talk about, but those are the top 3. Okay. The ones I just mentioned. And if you don't know them, go back, rewind, listen to it again. Let's talk about the pros, because the pros to me outweigh the cons. All right. Number 1, they're totally anonymous. No KYC. You tell me what crypto company or DeFi staking company that moves with crypto, where you could take a $100 activation fee and buy a 7-year contract, make $1 million, and they don't even know your name. I'll wait. Can you tell me? They don't even know my name, which is good for me and for them. You guys know I did a video on the FBI investigates cryptex. Well, they attempted to, but there was nothing to find. The FBI department said there's nothing here, so there's nothing to really investigate. Why? Because they're anonymous. Okay? I told you the story about the Bytnex owner, the guy who started Bytnex. We don't even know his real name, okay? Because he gave his online name, and Bitcoin is still going today. We don't even know who owns it. That's the best way to be when you're doing this kind of business, as long as you keep your word, right? But my point is, anonymity keeps you safe. It protects you and it protects them. We don't know the banks they're using. We don't know any of that. We don't know the insurance company they're using. Word has it, when I listen to some of the conference calls, which are great, the guy that does it, he does a great job. Again, I'm not saying his name for privacy reasons, but if you guys are tuned in to the Tuesdays and Thursday night meetings, you know what I'm talking about. But he said there's an insurance policy attached to every single contract you buy, every single contract that you put up that $100 fee on, right? It's enough to cover whatever you're going to get paid and then some. So some of you got the 2-year contract, which is $22,000. The actual insurance policy is worth more than that $22,000. Some of you got the 5-year contracts. That's $470,000 after everyone's paid, right? There's a contract. There's an insurance policy wrapped around it for more than that. So anonymity is bar none the best thing. But number 2, every contract is insured. Insured, yes. So your $100 is an activation fee to get access to get the fees to start your contract. So the $100 gives you access to the $32,000 or the $33,000, whatever that is. That money that comes to you in that, not to you directly, but comes in that account, so it can begin to accrue interest every day, right? So that insurance policy protects from anything happening. So the insurance company gets their money if something goes sideways, and you are not liable for anything. All right? So think about that for a second. So that's the number two that I think is a pro. All right? Anonymity and insurance with the contracts. Number three goes along with the same criteria, same section. It's all cohesive. They allow you to I don't use the word borrow. It's not like going to a bank borrowing, but when you activate the contract, they put up the funds for you to be able to accrue the interest on. So the $100 gives you access to the $32,000, $33,000, whatever it is, right? That number. That money goes in an account and it begins to accrue anywhere from 0.05 to 0.15 a day, daily compound interest. So they give you everything you need to be successful, including the upfront money to turn that money into $1 million over 7 years, or $500,000 in 5 years, or $35,000 in 3 years. All right? So you got everything you need. That's a really good, to me, that's the best con, because most investors' biggest problem is they don't have investment money, right? Again, this is not investing, but it's similar. If I'm going to go real estate, for example, I could be the best investor in the world. If I can't get access to OPM, other people's money, I'll have to use my own money. Sometimes, some of us are what we call cash poor, but you are rich in property and assets, right? Well, if I don't have the cash to put up to buy $1 million property, which would be probably 10%, which is $100,000. I can get $900,000 from the bank. But if I can't get the 10%, I can't make the deal work. I need an investor or somebody else. Well, with this, they put up all that you need to make your money multiply. OPM is always the way other people's money is always the way to go, but it ain't the easiest thing to do. So it's a win-win situation with how they have it set up. All right. And fourth and finally, listen, if you stay to the end to this, you're going to get the best part that I think is bar none the number one reason why I joined Bytnex. There's more good reasons, but they always pay. Okay, this gentleman, I love him, who does these meetings on Thursdays and Tuesday nights. He put out a bounty. He said, any one of you can tell me and can show me where someone, their contract expired with Bytnex and they didn't pay them. He said, I'll wire you $5,000. And do you know that challenge is still going? Okay, nearly 10 years in, he's been in about 3 years now. Since he's been in, he has not found one person that can say, you know what? Cryptex, now Bytnex, did not pay me when my contract expired. They are 100%, 100, 1,000 and old. What I mean by that is they paid out over 1,000 times, and not one time did they not pay somebody. Probably hundreds of thousands of times. I don't know how many times. And I can tell you this, I have video content on this where I went on live on the blockchain, okay, the blockchain explorer, and you can see contracts, you see money coming in, going out. A lot more money being paid out than coming in. I'm talking billions with a B. Over $1 trillion has been paid out, guys, I'm telling you. Trillions. And Bitcoin on the blockchain that Cryptex, now Bytnex, has paid each person that had a contract that expired. This is facts. So the number one pro that I think, which is not a con, it's a pro, they pay. 100%, you can bank it. You buy your contract, you can bank it that you're going to get paid. The problem is, when you receive the money, what happens after that? That's only a problem if you don't have a solution for the problem, right? So, having said that, that's the main reason wifey and I decided to stick with them. Now, one person has come back and said, Jimmie, they didn't pay me. In fact, we've made over, I want to say, $17,000 in commissions, okay? We haven't built the business. We haven't done anything with Bytnex in over 6 to 8 months. We built that going into this year. We stopped building it. Made all that money and took that same money that they paid me in commissions and bought more contracts. That's why we combined have over 150 of them. We have several 7-year contracts, several 5-year contracts, and a bunch of 2-year contracts. Probably 80 2-year contracts. We're going to get paid heftily in 2027. But all that money, if it wasn't real money, we couldn't have purchased more contracts if they didn't pay the commissions. So I'm not saying they pay, and they pay. That's all I'm gonna tell you, all the way up to the moon and back. So That's all any of us as investors want to know. Do the company pay? At the end of the day, if you have a job, you can care less about all the cons that you have in the job. Are they going to pay you every Friday or every, twice a month or every, once a month at the first of the month? Are you going to get that contract salary that they promised you? That's what you care about. And that's what you're going to get with Bytnex. Number one reason to stay. They don't have a track record of not paying people. They pay their people, their members. I want to say the word investor, but I can't even use that word. They pay the members who have put up the $100 to get their activation fee, get the contracts. Once the contracts expire, they pay you. Hang your hat on that alone. And rest assured, you're in the right place at the right time. You need to get in because I don't know when they're going to close the door. They may not close the door for another 10 years. I don't know. But again, they may close it tomorrow. Rewind it over and over again. Look at all the pros and all the cons. I guarantee you the cons are going to lose against the pros. The pros are going to win, especially that last one. I hope it brought some peace to your spirit. If you want to be a part of my mastermind team and you want to learn how to be successful and financially independent and learn the different levels of how to have multiple streams of income, how to change your mindset for success and get out of the poverty mindset, not just make a quick buck. You want real mind transformation and you want multiple streams of income. We have a group. It's a new group. It's not the JWC MIC. That's an old group. We're transforming and we're transitioning over to the Jimmie and Arlene Williams Legacy Group. There's 4 levels. The first level is free. The top level is $10,000. The higher you go, the more you get. All right. If you're interested in that, just email me at JWCMIC, support at JWCMIC.com. Again, support at JWCMIC.com, and someone will get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. As I always say, I'll see y'all at the top on the next video. Let's go. Stay motivated, stay inspired, live your dreams, and don't let anybody tell you you can't have what you want out of life. Shalom. I'm out. Bye-bye.